Coronation Street twist. Lou Michaelis faces fresh humiliation after husband Mick's arrest, but is her redemption arc just beginning? The drama in Coronation Street escalated sharply this week with a tense and emotionally charged storyline centering around Lou Michaelis, the embattled wife of recently arrested Mick Michaelis. With Mick behind bars for the shocking murder of Craig Tinker, Lou finds herself reeling in the aftermath, shunned by her community and desperate to hold her family together. But as she attempts to piece her life back together, Lou faces rejection, humiliation, and a storm of judgment that threatens to crush her completely. In tonight's gripping episode, viewers saw a major shift in Lou's circumstances, and perhaps the beginning of a powerful transformation. While her past continues to haunt her, there are signs that Lou is not ready to be written off just yet. A shocking start. Lou returns to work, but gets fired in front of everyone. The episode begins quietly, with Lou turning up for her shift at Trim Up North. The usually feisty and sharp-tongued woman looks subdued, perhaps even hopeful. With her husband behind bars and her household falling apart, Lou appears to be grasping for some normality. As Maria Connor and David Platt attend to a customer, Lou tidies up, broom in hand, trying to make herself useful. But the moment quickly turns humiliating when Maria confronts her. "What are you doing here?" Maria demands coldly, watching Lou sweep the floor. Lou, visibly uncomfortable, says she just came to check her upcoming shifts. She adds that she thought helping out while she was there might soften the awkwardness. But any attempt at goodwill is instantly shut down. "You don't have any shifts," Maria says sharply. "Because you're fired." The statement hits Lou like a slap. Furious and humiliated, she lashes out verbally, accusing Maria and David of cruelty before storming out. It's the first of many public blows she'll suffer in the space of a single day, and it sets the tone for her descent. Rejected and isolated, Lou turns to Gary Windass. Still reeling from her dismissal, Lou heads to the Rovers in search of comfort, or at least a pint. But her attempts at connection are met with more resistance. When she spots Maria's husband Gary Windass, she tries to strike up a conversation. But Gary, clearly uncomfortable, tries to brush her off. "What did I ever do to you, eh?" "Exactly. Nout," Lou protests. "It were Mick that gave you that kicking, not me. And I'm sorry for that, but guess what? He gave me hundreds, and I've got the scars to prove it." Her voice cracks slightly as she delivers this line, a brief window into the abuse she endured during her marriage to Mick. For a moment, the brash mask slips, revealing the pain beneath. When she tries to pay for her drink, her card is declined, a final indignity. Glenda Shuttleworth looks on with smug amusement, but Gary, sensing how far Lou has fallen, takes pity on her. He quietly pays for her pint and joins her at the table. "Let's just say I've been where you are now," Gary says softly. More than once. It's a moment of unexpected empathy. Despite everything, Gary sees Lou not as Mick's accomplice, but as another victim of his brutality. The brief connection offers Lou a rare glimmer of kindness in an otherwise hostile environment. Maria's jealousy and judgment. Maria, however, is far from understanding. The moment she enters the Rovers and sees her husband sitting with Lou, alarm bells go off. Her face hardens, and she demands Gary come home immediately. Once back at their flat, a heated argument erupts. Maria accuses Lou of trying to flirt with Gary, but he shuts the idea down. "We were just talking," he insists. "Look, I know she can be a nightmare. But Mick was knocking her about, and now she's gotta bring up 3 kids on her own. I just think the least we can do is cut her a bit of slack." "Do you think the kids should be punished as well?" Maria doesn't budge. Her hatred of Mick runs too deep, and by extension, so does her distrust of Lou. "I wouldn't have married Mick in the first place if I was in her shoes," she snaps, a statement dripping with moral superiority, and one that reveals a fundamental lack of empathy. Gary, frustrated, storms out, feeling like he's talking to a wall. The salon debate. Is Lou just as bad? Back at the salon, Maria vents her frustration to David. She doubles down on her stance, claiming Lou is just as bad as her violent husband. But David, who's no stranger to moral gray areas, challenges her logic. "Lou's not murdered anyone," he points out. "And if we're going by guilt by association, then what does that make you, married to Gary, with his past?" It's a cutting observation, and one that forces Maria to take a hard look at her own hypocrisy. Meanwhile, Lou is on her own once again, trying to navigate the wreckage of her life. She's lost her job, her marriage is in ruins, and now her reputation is in tatters. And just when things couldn't seem worse, Kit Green shows up. A threat from Kit Green. Kit, ever the provocateur, wastes no time adding fuel to the fire. He confronts Lou in the street, mocking her loyalty to Mick and ridiculing her for allowing their son Brody to idolize his criminal father. "You still worship that psycho?" he sneers. "Brody's gonna grow up thinking being a thug is something to be proud of." Kit hints that he has a plan to destroy Mick's hardman reputation behind bars, a chilling comment that Lou doesn't quite grasp at first, but will soon understand all too well. Her face falls. Despite everything, she still loves Mick in some fractured way. But now, even that link is under threat. Maria's change of heart, a quiet truce? Later that evening, Gary returns to the flat to find something unexpected. Maria has prepared his favorite meal and poured him a glass of her favorite wine. They share an awkward but heartfelt apology. In a surprising twist, Maria reveals that she has given Lou her job back at the salon. The gesture is both a peace offering and an acknowledgement that perhaps, deep down, she knows she was being too harsh. "I still don't trust her," Maria admits. But, maybe she deserves a second chance. It's a small victory for Lou, but in her world, even the smallest moments of grace matter. Mick's fate revealed. As the episode draws to a close, Lou receives a call that sends fresh shockwaves through her already fragile world. It's Mick, calling from a hospital bed in prison. He's been brutally beaten, his injuries severe. Unbeknownst to Lou, the attack was orchestrated by none other than Kid Green, who has made good on his threat to dismantle Mick's legacy from the inside. Mick's voice is weak, but his sentiment is clear. "I still love you," he says. "Will you come visit me?" Lou, torn and weary, doesn't hesitate. "Yeah," she replies quietly. "I'll come." The episode ends with Lou alone, staring into the distance. Her past continues to grip her like chains. But as she prepares to face Mick again, one question remains. Is she doing it out of love, guilt, or a final need for closure? What comes next for Lou Michaelis? This emotionally complex episode marks a turning point for Lou. For weeks, she's been caught between two identities, the battered wife of a killer and the mother trying to survive in the wake of his crimes. Now, with the community's judgment closing in and her financial security crumbling, she's forced to reckon with who she really is, and who she wants to become. Will Lou continue to be dragged down by Mick's legacy? Or is this the beginning of her redemption story? Insiders tease that Lou's journey is far from over, and that her past may still come back to haunt her in even more devastating ways. With Kit lurking in the shadows and tensions still simmering between Maria, Gary, and the rest of the street, viewers can expect explosive scenes in the weeks to come. Fan reactions pour in. As expected, the episode sparked heated debate across social media. Some viewers sympathized with Lou, pointing out the toxic control Mick had over her for years and praising the show for tackling domestic abuse from the perspective of the abuser's family. Others remained firmly in Maria's camp, arguing that Lou knew what kind of man Mick was and chose to stay, even at the cost of others' safety. Still, the consensus is clear. Coronation Street has delivered one of its most emotionally nuanced storylines in recent months, forcing fans to question loyalty, guilt, and how far forgiveness should extend. Conclusion. A woman at the crossroads. Lou Michaelis may have started tonight's episode broken and shamed, but her journey is only just beginning. As the community continues to pass judgment, and Mick's influence continues to cast a long shadow, Lou is forced to find her voice, and her strength. Whether she rises or falls, one thing is certain, Coronation Street viewers will be watching every step of the way.